Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Renuka RS with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers tomorrow. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates 12 road projects of Border Roads Organisation to nation. Government not in favour of banning any platform, however they have to follow law of the land, says Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan says Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 95.93%. More than 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far. CBSE Class 10th board examination results to be declared by 20th of July. Class 12th exams results to be out by 31st of July. Government extends validity of documents related to Motor Vehicles Act 1988 till September this year. India calls upon Pakistan to address shortcomings in ICJ Review and Reconsideration Bill 2020 and comply with ICJ judgments. ICC Test World Cup final between India and New Zealand to begin tomorrow at Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton. Rafael Nadal pulls out of Wimbledon and Olympics. And in Euro 2020, Ukraine defeat North Macedonia by 2-1 at Bucharest, and Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen today. As many states are relaxing lockdown norms, we advise our listeners not to lower their guard as the COVID-19 pandemic remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene, and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch a customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers tomorrow. The launch will commence the program in 111 training centres spread over 26 states. The program aims to skill and upskill over 1 lakh COVID warriors across the country. The training will be imparted to COVID warriors in 6 customized job roles, namely home care support, basic care support, advanced care support, emergency care support, sample collection support, and medical equipment support. The program has been designed as a special program under the central component of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0 with total financial outlay of 276 crore rupees. Our correspondent reports the program will create skilled non-medical healthcare workers to fill the present and future needs of manpower in the health sector.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today dedicated 12 roads to the nation built by the Border Roads Organisation in northern and eastern border areas. Chief Ministers of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, Union Ministers Kiren Rijiju and Dr. Jitendra Singh and Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat were among the dignitaries who attended the event virtually. The Defence Minister inaugurated a 20-kilometre-long double-lane Kimin-Potin road along with 9 other roads in Arunachal Pradesh and 1 each in the Union Territory of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir. The roads have been constructed under Arunank, Vartak, Brahmank, Udayak, Himank and Sampark projects of the BRO. The Home Ministry, under leadership of Home Minister Amit Shah, has operationalized the national helpline number 155260 and reporting platform for preventing financial loss due to cyber fraud. The national helpline and reporting platform provides a mechanism for persons cheated in cyber frauds to report such cases to prevent loss of their hard-earned money. The helpline was soft launched on 1st of April this year. The helpline and its reporting platform has been made operational by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center I4C under the Ministry of Home Affairs with active support and cooperation from the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, all major banks, payment banks, wallets and online merchants. Since its soft launch in a short span of 2 months, Helpline 155260 has been able to save more than 1.85 crore rupees of defrauded money from reaching the hands of fraudsters, with Delhi and Rajasthan saving 58 lakh rupees and 53 lakh rupees.
Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad today emphasized that the government is not in favor of banning any platform. He said, however, they have to follow the law. He said if half of the government is on Twitter, including the Prime Minister and President, it shows how fair the government is. He bemoaned that when Capitol Hill in Washington was raided, Twitter blocked accounts of all, including the then President. The minister said during the farmers' strike and when Red Fort was raided by terrorist supporters showing swords, injuring policemen and pushing them in the ditch, then it was freedom of expression. Mr. Prasad said if Capitol Hill is US's pride, Red Fort is India's, where the Prime Minister hoists the tricolour. He also criticised Twitter for showing parts of Ladakh as China's territory, which took a fortnight to pursue and remove it. The minister said as a democracy, India is equally entitled to safeguard its digital sovereignty. On the Ghaziabad incident, he said it is for the police to investigate. Mr. Prasad, however, questioned that if Twitter has a norm of declaring a particular tweet as manipulative, then why was it not applied in the Ghaziabad case? The minister further said media questions ministers, and that is freedom of speech and democracy, but under the garb of these, if they will not comply with rules, it is a misplaced argument. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad today clarified that the government does not want all WhatsApp messages to be decrypted. He said all ordinary users of WhatsApp can continue to use it. Mr. Prasad, however, clarified that if any content goes viral causing mob lynching, riots, killing, showing women in nudity or sexual exploitation of children, only in these limited circumstances it will be asked to declare who started the mischief. The minister also said if viral messages are causing mayhem in the country which originated from across the border, then who started it should be known in public interest.
Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today said Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. Chairing a high-level meet with corporates to discuss voluntary crowdfunding for treatment of patients suffering from rare diseases, Dr. Harshvardhan said TB will be eliminated in the same expeditious manner as polio.
जिस प्रकार से भारत ने चेचक और पोलियो जैसी बीमारी को जड़ से समाप्त किया, उसी प्रकार से हम दुनिया के 2030 के लक्ष्य से 5 साल पहले अपने प्रधानमंत्री के आह्वान पर 2025 तक पूरे देश से टीबी जैसी बीमारी को भी एलिमिनेट करना चाहते हैं.
Dr. Harshvardhan also enumerated the different steps taken by the government in facilitating creation of an environment which promotes research and development of diagnostic and therapeutic interventions for rare diseases within the country. He also mentioned about the National Digital Portal for crowdfunding created by the Health Ministry that will enable donors from various sections of the society to take care of patients suffering from rare diseases. The minister said this is a unique initiative by the ministry, and for the first time such a government portal for crowdfunding has been created. He also encouraged enhanced contributions by corporates through CSR initiatives to address important health challenges. India is registering a significant decline in active caseloads and fresh cases of coronavirus. With this, the recovery rate is continuously improving in the country. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said the active caseloads presently comprise 2.78% of the cumulative positive cases, and it is continuously declining. It said the country has registered a decline of over 38,000 active cases in the last 24 hours. At present, there are over 8,26,000 active cases in the country. This is the lowest caseload after 71 days. The country is also witnessing a decline trend in the weekly and daily positivity rate. India's daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 35th consecutive day. Over 103,000 patients have recovered from coronavirus disease within 24 hours. The recovery rate has reached 95.93% in the country. Over 2 crore 84 lakh patients have already recovered from this infectious disease so far.
India has administered over 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses to beneficiaries so far. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry said over 34 lakh 63,000 vaccine doses were administered to beneficiaries within 24 hours. The liberalized and accelerated Phase 3 strategy of COVID-19 vaccination has already started in the country. Vaccination is a crucial pillar in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The central government is continuously engaged in accelerating the pace of the vaccination drive in the country with the cooperation of states and union territories. The centre continues to closely monitor the production, import, supplies and availability of the drugs required for treatment of mucormycosis. It has mobilized over 6,67,000 vials of antifungal drug amphotericin B for patients in the states, union territories and central health institutes in the country so far. The Chemicals and Fertilizers Ministry said it has additionally also mobilized other important drugs, including amphotericin deoxycholate and posaconazole, used for treatment of mucormycosis. It said the Department of Pharmaceuticals, along with inputs from CDSCO, has been continuously assessing the availability of drugs for treating mucormycosis, both through domestic manufacturing and import. The ministry added that in order to augment the domestic manufacture, the centre is continuously engaging with the manufacturers to resolve their issues related to raw materials. It informed that 6 more firms in the country have been given permission to manufacture liposomal amphotericin, which will add to the domestic manufacturing capacity from 5 existing firms.
In Madhya Pradesh, the state government is prepared with full strength to control the third wave of COVID. A public awareness campaign will be launched in the entire state for vaccination from 21st of June. More from our correspondent.
State government is launching massive public awareness campaign for vaccination from June 21st. Campaign will start at 7,000 vaccination centers on the first day. In this campaign, the members of the state cabinet, MLAs and MPs will together motivate the public for vaccination. Along with this, people will also be told that vaccination is the only protection against COVID. Chief Minister informed that the state government has the capacity to vaccinate 5 lakh people every day, and by the end of December, about 70% population of the entire state would be vaccinated. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Oxygen expresses have crossed the milestone of 32,000 MTs of liquid medical oxygen delivery in service to the nation. So far, the Indian Railways has delivered nearly 32,017 MTs of LMO in more than 1,830 tankers to various states across the country. A total of 443 oxygen expresses have completed their journey so far and brought relief to various states. They delivered more than 17,600 MTs of liquid medical oxygen to the southern states of the country.
International Day of Yoga will be observed worldwide on the 21st of June. The theme for this year is Yoga for Well-being. The COVID pandemic continues to affect lives and livelihoods of people the world over. The importance of yoga in promoting holistic health of people is very relevant in such a time. Our correspondent takes a look at the role yoga played during the times of the pandemic.
During the pandemic, a growing trend has been witnessed where people embraced yoga to stay healthy. Practicing yoga also helped people fight social isolation and depression. Certain yoga positions can help support, balance and boost the immune system. Several people started doing breathing exercises to keep lungs healthy. There is a widespread realization today that health is of foremost importance for everyone. Countries around the globe have recognized the potential benefits that humankind can enjoy by embracing yoga. Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers tomorrow. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates 12 road projects of Border Roads Organisation to the nation. Government not in favour of banning any platform. However, they have to follow law of the land, says Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan says Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 95.93%. More than 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far. CBSE Class 10th Board Examinations result to be declared by 20th of July. Class 12th exam results to be out by 31st of July. Government extends validity of documents related to Motor Vehicles Act 1988 till September this year. India calls upon Pakistan to address shortcomings in ICJ Review and Reconsideration Bill 2020 and comply with ICJ judgments. ICC Test World Cup final between India and New Zealand to begin tomorrow at Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton. Rafael Nadal pulls out of Wimbledon and Olympics. And in Euro 2020, Ukraine defeats North Macedonia by 2-1 at Bucharest, and Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 080 4611 00007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back to the evening news. The Central Board of Secondary Education CBSE today said the result of Class 10th and 12th board examinations, which were cancelled in the wake of the ongoing COVID-19 crisis, will be declared by the 20th and 31st of July, respectively. Speaking to a news agency, CBSE Examination Controller Sayam Bharadwaj said the students who are not satisfied with their marks will be given a chance to reappear for the exams when the COVID-19 pandemic situation becomes conducive. He said the board will release the details later. Mr. Bharadwaj also added that unsatisfied students can appear for physical examinations. He informed the CBSE will start online registration to know the exact number of applicants. In the first week of June, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the Education Ministry had decided to cancel the examination in the wake of the present COVID-19 situation in the country. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has written to Director Generals of Police, Principal Secretaries of Transport Departments and Transport Commissioners of all states and UTs for extension of documents related to the Motor Vehicles Act 1998 till September this year. Enforcement authorities have been advised to treat such documents as valid till the 30th of September. This will facilitate citizens in availing transport-related services.
Labour and Employment Minister Santosh Gangwar has said that India is committed to improve employment outcomes for all youth in India, including women and vulnerable sections of people, through an enduring long-term commitment for better opportunities. He said this on the occasion of signing of statement of intent between the Ministry of Labour and Employment and UNICEF today. Mr. Gangwar said that by leveraging the strengths of the ministry, UNICEF and associated network members, we hope to enable abundant choices for our young generation to contribute and shape our country's future. He said that the collaboration is a starting point to facilitate direct dialogue and feedback mechanism between youth and other stakeholders, including policy makers. Khadi and Village Industries Commission KVIC has recorded its highest ever turnover in 2020-21 despite COVID-19 pandemic. Ministry of Micro and Small and Medium Enterprises said that KVIC has registered a gross annual turnover of over 95,700 crore rupees. The ministry said that KVIC registered a 7.71% increase as compared to the previous year despite the nationwide lockdown. KVIC Chairman Vinay Kumar Saxena said that during the pandemic people responded enthusiastically to the calls of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vocal for Local. He said that during this period, KVIC's main focus was to create sustainable employment for artisans and unemployed youth. He added that faced with economic distress, a large number of youth took up self-employment and manufacturing activities under Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, which increased the production in the village industry sector.
The central government today issued a notification amending the Cable Television Network Rules 1994. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said in a tweet that by amending the rules, his ministry has developed a statutory mechanism to redress citizens' grievances and complaints against programs of TV channels. He said the ministry has also decided to recognize statutory bodies of TV channels under CTN rules. Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawar Chand Gehlot today virtually inaugurated 14 cross-disability early intervention centres. These are located at 7 national institutes and 7 composite regional centres. The centres will provide screening and identification, rehabilitation, counselling, therapeutic services, among others, for different disabilities under one roof.
India has called upon Pakistan to take appropriate steps to address the shortcomings in the ICJ Review and Reconsideration Bill 2020 and to comply with the judgments of the International Court of Justice in letter and spirit. The bill has been passed by the National Assembly of Pakistan. Briefing media this evening, External Affairs Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi said the bill codified into law the earlier ordinance with all its shortcomings. He said it does not create a machinery to facilitate effective review and reconsideration of Kulbhushan Jadhav's case as mandated by the International Court of Justice. The ICJ had ruled that Pakistan was in breach of its international obligation because of failure to provide consular access to Jadhav. The NIA arrested former Mumbai police officer Pradeep Sharma in connection with Antilia Security and Mansukh Hiren murder case. The National Investigation Agency, which is probing the case, took former Mumbai police officer Pradeep Sharma into custody early today. Intensive raids were on at Sharma's residence. Sharma was known as an encounter specialist in the Mumbai police and Sachin Vaze considered him as his mentor. Pradeep Sharma has been called several times in the past by the NIA for questioning. On Wednesday, the NIA had arrested 2 other accused in the case who are in the agency's custody till the 21st of June.
The Sensex and the Nifty today declined amid weak cues from global equity markets. The Sensex ended below the 52,500 mark, while the Nifty slipped below the 15,700 level. The rupee weakened 75 paise against the US dollar, and gold plunged around 1,300 rupees at the multi-commodity exchange for August contracts. A report from the Business World.
The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange fell 179 points or 0.3% to close at 52,323. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange depreciated 76 points or 0.5% to settle at 15,691. In the forex market, the rupee witnessed a fall of 75 paise against the US dollar to trade above the 74 rupee per dollar level. And in intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $74.20 per barrel. Anubha Rohabki, AIR News.
In tennis, Rafael Nadal has announced that he will not play in this month's Wimbledon and the Tokyo Olympics later this summer. The Spaniard, who lost in the French Open semi-final to Novak Djokovic last week, made the announcement through social media. The final of the ICC Test World Cup between India and New Zealand is scheduled to be played tomorrow at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton, UK. The team that wins will create history by becoming the first team to lift the World Test Championship trophy. In women's Test cricket, India were 98 for no loss in their first innings against England on the second day today when reports last came in. This is the first time earlier batting first, the hosts declared their first innings at 396 runs for the loss of 9 wickets at County Ground, Bristol. This is the first time Indian women cricketers are playing England in a multi-format series. The 2 teams will also play 3 ODIs and 3 T20 internationals.
In Eurocup football tournament in today's fixtures, Ukraine has defeated North Macedonia by 2-1 at Bucharest, while Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen. Italy qualified for the knockout stages after beating Switzerland 3-0 in Group A match in Rome last night. Earlier, Wales moved closer to qualifying for the knockout stage after a 2-0 win over Turkey in their second Group A match at Baku. Russia defeated Finland by a solitary goal in the Group B encounter at St. Petersburg. In Sports Roundup, All India Radio brings you the latest news updates from the world of sports through the day. With less than 37 days remaining for the start of the Tokyo Olympics, All India Radio brings a special series on India's medal prospects at the sporting extravaganza. Today we will talk about India's hope in the long jump event, Murli Sri Shankar.
Born on the 27th of March 1999 in Palakkad, Kerala, long jump athlete Murli Sri Shankar has brought India immense pride by qualifying for the Tokyo Olympics. Sri Shankar set a national record of 8.26 meter at the Federation Cup Senior Athletics Championship in Patiala to secure his spot in Tokyo. In an exclusive interview with AIR News, Sri Shankar described his path to qualifying for the Olympics.
अभी मेरा प्रिपरेशन तो बहुत अच्छा जा रहा है, पूरा रिकवरी में फोकस करना है, बहुत क्वालिटी ट्रेनिंग में अभी फोकस कर रहे हैं क्योंकि अभी मेरे इवेंट को अभी सिर्फ 40 दिन 45 डेज टू 50 डेज रखा है क्योंकि मेरा क्वालिफाइंग राउंड होगा 31 जुलाई को और फाइनल्स होगा 2 अगस्त को, तो उसी के लिए मैं बहुत फोकस्ड हूँ, तैयारियां बहुत अच्छा जा रहा है.
The entire country comes together in wishing that Sri Shankar makes a giant leap to the top of the podium at the Tokyo Olympics. Siddharth Singh, Sports Desk.
In Maharashtra's Raigad district, the Indian Coast Guard today rescued all 16 crew members from sinking cargo ship MV Mangalam near Revdanda port. In the wee hours today, Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre MRCC in Mumbai received a telephonic information from Second Officer of Indian-flagged MV Mangalam intimating that the vessel was partially sinking with the crew on board around 3 kilometers away from Revdanda jetty. Amid inclement weather, Indian Coast Guard ship and helicopter undertook a successful operation to rescue all the crew members. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 27 and 38 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees while maximum is expected around 30 degrees. Chennai is expected to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will vary between 29 and 38 degrees. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 25 degrees, maximum of around 28. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Jammu will have a partly cloudy sky. Leh is expected to have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum and maximum temperature will be between 9 and 16 degrees. Gilgit will have a partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad, the sky will be sunny. And now before we end the bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers tomorrow. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates 12 road projects of Border Roads Organisation to the nation. Government not in favour of banning any platform, however they have to follow law of the land, says Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan says Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of tuberculosis-free India will be achieved by 2025. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 95.93%. More than 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far. CBSE Class 10th Board Examination results to be declared by 20th of July. Class 12th exams result to be out by 31st of July. Government extends validity of documents related to Motor Vehicles Act 1988 till September this year. India calls upon Pakistan to address shortcomings in ICJ Review and Reconsideration Bill 2020 and comply with ICJ judgments. ICC Test World Cup final between India and New Zealand to begin tomorrow at Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton. Rafael Nadal pulls out of Wimbledon and Olympics. And in Euro 2020, Ukraine defeat North Macedonia 2-1 at Bucharest. Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen today. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.